Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro. It wasn't pretty, but the Washington Commanders just beat the Indianapolis Colts 17-16. The Commanders are on a 3-game win streak and are at 500, so we're going to recap the game in today's video. If you guys are new, please subscribe for Washington and NFL content on the road to 10,000 subscribers. It takes 1 second. It's free, so please go ahead and do it. And hit that like button and that notification bell. Guys, a win is a win. I see a lot of people saying, we got totally outplayed, blah, blah, blah. We were lucky to win. I do not care, okay? We won the game. We are 4-4. Let's be happy, at least for today, before we start to take apart that win. It didn't feel good at times about our chances to win, especially down 9. And, with the Colts having the ball, I believe, or, maybe I think we were down 9 and we scored the field goal. It was a little bit nerve-wracking because then we're down 6 and the Colts have the ball, and even if we stop them, we have to go and score a touchdown. It was really, really hard for us to do. So, and let's start with Taylor Heinicke. Is he a great quarterback? No, definitely not. Is he starting quarterback in this league? I don't think so. Maybe a low-tier starting quarterback, but he is an absolute gamer. He has that dog in him, and when it matters most, he usually steps up and he responds very, very well in these situations where, he wasn't having the best game. He had some mistakes in third quarter, and even in the fourth quarter a little bit too, but goes on an 80-something yard drive and gets us a field goal. Could have been a touchdown. Then the next drive, a very long drive as well, and we scored touchdown. He scores a rushing touchdown. He also had a throw to Terry Mclaurin. So did Heinicke play an amazing game? No, but he stepped up when it mattered most. 23 for 31, 279 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Also had a rushing touchdown as well. So, definitely a mixed bag for him in terms of the game, but definitely stepped up at the end, and he had 29 rushing yards as well, 1 touchdown. Curtis Samuel also was good in the run game, 4 carries, 29 yards. And then the rest of the run game was not very good today. Gibson and Robinson combined for 15 carries for 39 yards, so both of them were not good today. Both of them were not good, and the offensive line wasn't great in terms of run blocking. So hopefully run game can be better. They were really never able to establish it, and then in the second half, once they started to lose their lead, then they just stopped running the ball. So it's unfortunate, but their strength, the Colts' strength is their interior defensive line, and they just kept running up the middle. I would have liked to see some more outside runs. McKissick, two carries, 6 yards, and Mclaurin had that 1 carry for -7 yards, and Dax Milne missed the block on that play. But, offense was not pretty. Taylor Heinicke at times looked bad. That interception, I got to watch the replay on that. It looked like his hand got hit, and Logan Thomas, I believe that's who he was throwing to, was somewhat open, but Gibson was open in the flat and could have gotten 8 to 12 yards there if Heinicke throws to him. So you got to take what you can get there, and Heinicke should have, done the check down, but not sure if that interception was, his hand was hit. Regardless, though, you got to make the better play there. And let's talk about Terry Mclaurin. Homecoming game, and, has 70-plus family members and friends in attendance, played, won 3 state championships. I think he played 2 of them. One of them, he was a sophomore. I think he won at least 1 Big Ten championship as well. I mean, he's played a lot here, and this is his first NFL game there, and he did not disappoint at all. 6 catches, 113 yards, had a 42-yard catch, had a amazing catch at the end where he just absolutely mossed Stephon Gilmore. And that's another thing I like about Taylor Heinicke. He doesn't care. He will just throw it up to Terry Mclaurin. He will give him the targets, and he just threw it up. and it was a 50-50 ball, and Gilmore's a great corner, but Terry McLaurin's just a better player, and he was able to snag it. Great jumping ability there by him, and great toughness to just snatch out of Gilmore's hands, because it was in both of their hands, but Terry was able to get that catch. There's nothing to dislike about Terry McLaurin. Great person, great leader, great guy in the community, great player, not a diva. He's not cocky. Like, he's just a great overall player, person, and leader, and that's what I absolutely love about Terry McLaurin. Got his jersey on here, and yeah, he had an amazing game. I believe that's his first game over 100 yards this year, and that will continue to happen with Taylor Heinicke at QB, because he will throw him the ball. Gibson, Turner did not have a great game, but did not have a good game. But the one thing I like that he did is he involved Antonio Gibson in the passing game. 7 catches on 7 targets, very efficient, and 58 yards with a touchdown. I want to see him use like that every game, at least 5+ targets every single game. Do that, because he's great with the ball in his hands, and then you can maybe give him a little bit less carries if he's getting a lot of touches as a receiver. Curtis Samuel, 3 catches, 50 yards on 4 targets. Maybe would like that target number to be a little bit more, but he had some big catches on that last drive on 4th down. I believe that was the 4th down catch him? I don't know. He had a big catch on that drive. The 4th down catch was either him or Cam Sims, but he had some big catches on 3rd or 4th down for sure. So Curtis Samuel gets a hat tip. Cam Sims, great catch there, 21 yards. Just a big catch for sure. McKissick had a few good plays, but man, on the play before we converted the 4th down, like, McKissick slips way too much. Gibson does sometimes too, but it's just way too much slipping by these running backs for me. It's really, if we would have lost that game, it's partly on McKissick, because that was clearly going to be a 4th down conversion, and he just slips. And that, if you watch the games, this happens with McKissick way too often. And I mean, I don't know what you can do to fix it, but you got to be better than that, man. And I know it's sometimes just unlucky and how your foot hits the grass, and maybe it's a little bit slippery there, but that could have really cost him the game. Armani Rogers had a big catch, and Bates and Milne both had a catch apiece, but Turner overall didn't really like what he was doing. Some of the play calls were questionable, and again, I still would like Terry McLaurin to get the ball a little bit more, get some short passes to him, but I'm not going to complain about 7 or 8 targets. I'm fine with that, but still wouldn't mind more than that. But yeah, overall, Turner's got to be a little bit better, and got to be, sometimes he's creative, sometimes he's a little bit too creative. Would like a little bit less empty back formations where there's no one in the backfield except for Taylor Heinicke. And yeah, so, he wasn't great. One play I did like was when he had Curtis Samuel and Brian Robinson in the backfield. I forgot who got the rush. I think it was Brian Robinson. Might have been Curtis Samuel. That, I really liked that play design. It was probably Curtis Samuel, but that was a good play design by Scott Turner for sure. And yeah, so on offense, who am I giving? I'm giving game balls to Terry McLaurin for sure. Curtis Samuel gets a hat tip. Gibson gets... I'll give Gibson a hat tip because wasn't great as a runner, but was good as a receiver. Offense did not play well today, though. Yeah. Now on to the defense. Defense had another good game. And yes, did they get a little bit lucky at times with, I guess the turnovers they just forced them. So it was good plays by them, but, by McCain, let's go through it. By McCain was okay. He missed a tackle or two, but had a tackle for a loss and was solid for the most part. Jonathan Allen is an absolute animal. 8 tackles, 6 solo tackles, 2 tackles for loss, drew at least 1 holding penalty, maybe more, and the forced fumble, him and Casey Toole were there. I don't know why, because if you look at this, it says Sam Ehlinger was sacked twice, but it says the Commanders only got... Okay, no, actually, they adjusted it and put it as a team sack, which I don't get how you do that. Someone has to get the sack. So, I mean, I don't know. I think Allen deserves that sack, or Casey Toole. Give half a piece to them. But Jonathan Allen, absolute animal. The sack numbers aren't amazing right now. I think he's at 3.5, should be 4.5. But he's just great in the run game. He's getting pressure. He's, getting held all the time. And those are huge plays. Like, a holding is negative 10 yards. And, it's a good play. Good play for sure. Benjamin St. Juste, he was okay. There was times where he was solid, and then he got beat by Alec Pierce once, and there were some other good plays. But I think it was on that last drive by the Colts. I really liked the discipline by Jamin Davis. I believe it was Kendall Fuller and Benjamin St. Juste to keep the tight end in bounds. And I think the Colts had to get a timeout there. So good play there by St. Juste, Jamin Davis, and Fuller. But it wasn't Benjamin St. Juste's best game, but it wasn't a bad game either. Jamin Davis, I thought he was pretty good today. I forgot to say this earlier. The first kind of 5 to 6 minutes of actual game time, I wasn't able to watch. So, again, there might have been some things I missed. But for the most part, I think Jamin Davis played really solid today. He did get beat by Nyheim Hines on that it was just a great catch by Nyheim Hines. But he did get beat there. But I believe on that same drive, he made up for it by getting a great tackle for loss. He was unblocked, but it was basically him and Nyheim Hines, or I think it was Taylor, and he just made a great play. He made a great play, great tackle for loss. He had some other great tackles in the run game. Jamin Davis is getting better. He is getting better, and I'm glad the Commanders survived the game without Cole Holcomb. Saw John Bostic, saw David Mayo. Wasn't really impressed with either of those, but Jamin Davis might even get a game ball. Deron Payne, another good game. 5 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 1 QB hit. Good game by Deron Payne. Cameron Curl, another good game. He was in position, made a nice tackle on Michael Pittman. Overall, very solid game. Kendall Fuller wasn't terrible, but I do remember him getting beat once. At least once, so I'm probably missing something, but Kendall Fuller's definitely been better than he was the first few weeks of the season, but still isn't great. John Ridgeway, I've seen him, do some good things. That was a good pickup by them this season after Fedarian Mathis went down, so yeah. Another guy that I think gets a game ball is Derek Forrest. 2 tackles, 2 solo tackles, and had that forced fumble, and that was huge. Sorry, they had 2 forced fumbles when the Colts were very close to scoring. They would have at least gotten a field goal on both those drives, and that's 6 points, and they could have gotten up to 14 points on those drives, and Derek Forrest made a great tackle, hit him right where the ball was, and it was just the forced fumble. We got, great job by the Commanders getting on top of that ball, and yeah, that was a great tackle. Derek Forrest, I want him on the field more. And I would like to see him on the field a little bit more for sure. Shakatoni got 2 tackles. Rashad Wildgoose didn't have a great game. Had that pass interference. And I'm not going to complain too much about that because obviously he got beat. But if he doesn't do that pass interference, if he doesn't hold that guy Paris Campbell's hand, that's probably a touchdown because he was maybe 6 inches to a couple feet away from that ball with the one hand. And, Wild Goose was holding that other hand. Clearly, pass interference, but, he got beat, but maybe saved the touchdown there. Montez Sweat, 2 tackles, 2 QB hits, nothing crazy, but he was there definitely contributing a little bit. And John Bostic had a tackle. James Smith-Williams he had 3 QB hits. He was there for sure. He had a solid game, but he had that 15-yard penalty, so... got to limit that, the face mask. And one thing I want to note, on special teams, Christian Holmes is he is very, very good on special teams. I always see him or Percy Butler, but usually Christian Holmes as one of the first guys back on punt returns, and he makes tackles, he makes plays, he downs the football, he gets a hat tip or game ball on special teams. And then Joey Sly, nothing crazy, but he made the kick and he made the 2 extra points. So we survive another game with Joey Sly. Dax Milne was okay today as a returner, had a 12-yard return, didn't fumble. That's the most important part. I still think Dax Milne is a solid punt returner just because he doesn't turn the ball over. Knock on wood, hopefully that doesn't happen, but that's all I need in my punt returner. And Gibson, was okay. Not nothing amazing, but he was okay for sure. Sam Ehlinger looked good at times, but had that fumble, and he had that drop pass on that last drive by Michael Pittman, and we got lucky there. We got lucky there for sure. But guys, we got to win. 3 games in a row. We're at 4-4 on the season. And we're playing Minnesota this weekend, Sunday at 1 p.m. Maybe wish that was a little bit later because we know who we're playing. Kirk Cousins doesn't like to play well at night. But, yeah, good win for the Commanders. Like, the Colts are not a terrible football team. They have a 3-1, technically a winning record. And we got the job done. So that's all that matters. And now on to Minnesota. It's going to be at home. Hopefully we get some guys back. I think Jahan Dotson, maybe we get him back. I think Cole Holcomb could be back. Who knows? And another guy that I wanted to just shout out, Trey Turner, definitely wasn't as bad as he was before. I didn't notice him too much. Heinicke only got sacked twice, but just wanted a little bit of a hat tip there. Stepping in for Sadiq Charles, who is sick. I thought he played much better than he did before. Again, going to have to watch some of the replays and stuff to see how good the offensive line was as a whole. But Heinicke definitely makes him look better for sure. So that's it for today's video. A long one. Very, very happy about the dub. And peace, guys.